for my second assignment, I'm going to be talking about Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the movie. I think it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it relates a lot to life and relationships. And while it is a romantic comedy, I feel like it portrays a real relationship and how those go, as opposed to the meet your true love, get disconnected and then get back together, scenario. I really felt like it was truly happening, and like that's actually what happens in real life, as opposed to the normal romantic comedies. So in this first scene we see first off, they break up, and it's a bad breakup, but there's a lot of nudity, so I didn't show it. So then they see each other again, and Sarah Marshall is very happy, it seems, and she's with her new boyfriend, and Peter is very distraught and very uncomfortable, and it's very awkward, which is how it really is after you break up with somebody. It's very awkward, and you don't know what to say, and all that stuff. So that's how that goes. And then the receptionist bails him out and lets him stay there, and then they're able to get past their awkwardness. So then, of course, everybody knows how it feels, or will know how it feels, when somebody breaks up with them and you have to see them for a while. So they kind of get past that in the beginning, but then, of course, we go on to this next scene here in a minute, and of course, he falls for the receptionist. So this is the scene where they are walking, and they just are getting to know each other, and she's very spontaneous and adventurous, so they end up jumping off a cliff, and that kind of, I think, portrays their or Peter's willingness to go out there and like find somebody new, even though he's still heartbroken over Sarah. So I really thought that was a good portrayal of how Peter's feeling and like how much he really likes her by doing that for her. So they're developing this new relationship, and I think that really this part shows how relationships come about and how they are in real life, how they are. Like in the beginning, she's kind of hesitant because he's just gotten out of a serious relationship, and she's kind of messed up too, but in the end, they really do have feelings for each other, and they have connection, so they go for it. And I think that really is how it is in real life. If you like somebody, then you're more likely to go for it, even though there might be hurt and pain in the past, and heartbreak and emotions and complications. So I thought that they really did a good job on that, and this is definitely one of my favorite scenes because they finally kiss, and it's very romantic and passionate and just great. Let's go ahead and watch part of it now.
2.5!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You saw that,
Yeah,
right?
I saw it! I was there. I witnessed it.
So that was good, and basically a bunch of things happen, and Aldous ends up dumping Sarah, and she's very distraught over it, except that you can kind of see throughout the movie that she's realized that she's made a mistake and that she still loves Peter, but she sees him with Rachel and gets all jealous, and it's just this whole love square kind of. And these things happen in real life. People break up and then they regret it and want to get back together, but they're already with somebody, or the other person's with somebody, or all these complicated things. So in this scene here, it's where Peter has found out that Sarah and Aldous have just broken up, so he goes over to see if she's okay because he's a nice guy, and she basically gets him to kiss her and, you know, do some other stuff with her and basically try and get back together with him and make it back to normal, but he's already moved on. You know, he's in love with Rachel, and she doesn't seem to get it. She's very distraught, and she just wants to be with somebody, I think, and I think that's how it is a lot in real life. You know, you break up with somebody, and you know, you have a new boyfriend, and then he breaks up with you, and you want to get back together with your old boyfriend because you want somebody. So this scene is very interesting because of that, as well as you know, he ends up kind of doing the right thing. You know, he's still heartbroken. It's only been like a month since they broke up, and you know, he kind of hooks up with her, but then he realizes that, you know, he doesn't really like her. You know, she broke up with him for a crazy person, and yeah, so he basically tells her no, and I think that was very brave of him. A lot of guys wouldn't have the you know, the balls to do that, actually, and you know, he did, so that, you know, he kind of gets good guy points for that one. Continues to get good guy points too, because he actually tells Rachel, you know, he's like, hey, I did something messed up, and you know, I'm really sorry about it. I'm being honest with you, though. And you know, they weren't really together, but they were together, and they had feelings, and you know, he tries to be the bigger person and, you know, tell her. And you know, while he did the right thing, he told her and he was honest with her, you know, she is still heartbroken about it. You know, you can't just do that and then expect it to be okay and have them be like, oh, you know what, you told me, it's okay. So, you know, she did the right thing, in my opinion, and, you know, that's how real life goes. You know, you mess up, sometimes you win the girl back, and sometimes you don't. So, you know, you just gotta take it how you get it. And, you know, this is one of my favorite scenes because, you know, she's really strong, too. You know, she didn't give in, even though she really liked him, but she said, you know, don't call me, I don't want to talk to you anymore, you messed up, and, you know, that's your fault, and you are the one that has to deal with that. Let's take a look.
But I'm not like every other asshole.
You should not be with anybody right now. Anybody.
I know that there is something here. I know that I was not wrong about that. And yes, it's only been 4 days, but I know you feel it too.
I need you to leave. Do not write me. Do not call me. Do not email me. I need you to go.
I won't bother you anymore.
So yeah, you know, she's a very strong girl, but love is love. So she ends up going to LA and seeing his play, and they, you know, end up getting back together, and it's really great. And you know, I think, you know, it ends with them getting together, but, you know, it doesn't end with him getting back with Sarah, which is kind of how you think it's going to be in the beginning, because that's what normal romantic comedies are. But, you know, I really think that this movie, it's a lot more than just sex and romance and Hawaii and, you know, jokes. It's a lot about relationships and how they unfold, and how, you know, like Sarah, you can make a mistake, and you know, you won't be able to take that back. So you have to be careful about, you know, what you're doing in your relationships, and who you decide you want to be with and who you don't, and, you know, just all of those things. So, you know, I really like the ending and how they got back together, because who doesn't want, you know, the two to get back together? But, you know, I thought this movie was really great, and I really loved it, and it's, you know, it's hilarious. I recommend it if you haven't seen it. And yeah, so that's my my essay for my second video assignment. So thanks for listening.